Hey everybody, it's your boy Commando underscore Thorn 123. Today is a continuing part of the last Noble team, What If. But before we start the video, our sponsor for today is One Top Prospect. One Top Prospect is a baseball recruiting service that will help players get on a college team with a scholarship. Now, I hope you have your water, and let's get started. And unfortunately, I don't, everyone. Okay. Captain Keyes gave the order to get the Spartans out of stasis. The stasis pods smoked as they opened. Chief looked at the other Spartans that were getting out of their stasis pods. Chief got out of his stasis pod and saw the elites blew off the door to the stasis pod's control room. Everyone in the stasis pod's room saw the elite kill a crew member in the control room. Noble Team and Master Chief made it to the cafeteria where a lot of Marines were. Emil saw Carter and ran to his side. "Good to see you're awake, Commander," Emil said. "Good to see you too. Cat, June, George, and I will hold back the Covenant. 6, get Chief to the Captain," Carter ordered. 6 grabbed an assault rifle and stayed behind Chief all the way to Captain Keyes. "Captain Keyes," the Master Chief said. "Good to see you, Master Chief," Keyes said as he shook the chief's hand. "Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we never really stood a chance," Captain Keyes said. "A dozen Covenant superior battleships against a single Halcyon-class cruiser? With those odds, I'm content with 3. Make that 4 kills." "Sleep well?" Cortana asked. "No thanks to your driving." "Yes," Chief said. "So you did miss me," Cortana said as the ship shook. "Report," Keyes ordered. "It must have been one of their boarding parties. I'd guess an antimatter charge," Cortana guessed. Or it was a crew member. "Ma'am, fire control for the main cannon is offline," the pilot crew member said. "Captain, the key cannon was my last defense option," said Cortana. "All right, then. I'm initiating Cole Protocol Article 2. We're abandoning the Autumn." "That means you too, Cortana," Captain Keyes said. "Well, you do what? Go down with the ship?" Cortana asked, in a manner of speaking. "The object we found, I'm going to try and land the Autumn on it," Captain Keyes said. "With all due respect, sir, but this war has enough dead heroes," Cortana said. "I appreciate your concern, Cortana, but it's not up to me. Protocol is clear. Destruction or capture of a shipboard AI is absolutely unacceptable, and that means you're leaving this ship. Lockin's election of emergency landing zones. Upload them to my Neurolace and then sort yourself for a heart transfer," Captain Keyes ordered. "Aye, sir," Cortana said. "Which is where you come in, Master Chief. Get Cortana off this ship to keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons, research, Earth. Noble 6, you'll stay here," Captain Keyes ordered. "I understand," Chief N6 said. "The Autumn will continue evasive maneuvers until you initiate the landing sequence. Not that you'll listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach," Cortana said. "Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?" Keyes asked. Yank me, Cortana said. Keyes pressed a few buttons and then pulled out a chip. Keyes gave the chip and said, Good luck. Master Chief uploaded Cortana's chip into his head. Your suit's architecture isn't much different from the Autumn's, Cortana said. Don't get any funny ideas, the Chief ordered. Chief got off the command deck and tried to get to any escape pod he could. On the way to the escape pods, Chief saw a noble team. Covenant forces and Marines. Chief got in one escape pod, and while it launched, an elite tried to attack Captain Keyes. Noble 6 shot the elite and punched him in the face. So, that part, everyone, while an elite tried to attack Captain Keyes, that part was when an elite was capturing Captain Keyes, and with Noble 6 there, Captain Keyes isn't captured, so you don't have to save him. As the Master Chief crashed on the Halo, he saw dead soldiers around him that died in the crash of the escape pod. Master Chief ran into a cavern and hid behind a rock. The Chief then was spotted by a grunt and was fired at. The Chief ran at the grunt and smashed his head. The Master Chief then fired at an elite and punched his head. The Chief then fired at a grunt and the grunt fell. An elite tried to punch the Chief in the back. Chief heard the elite yelling and so turned around and fired his assault rifle. Chief got back on his trail and saw a spirit leaving. Chief ran to an elite and punched it in the back. The Marines and the Chief cleared out the grunts. Good to see you, Chief. But I'm willing to bet those coveys are going to surround our boys, Johnson said. Sir, incoming, a Marine yelled. Better gear up, Chief, Johnson said. The Chief grabbed ammo and started attacking any Covenant forces he saw. After finishing the last wave of the Covenant troops After the Covenant troops were dead, a Pelican landed. The Pelican dropped off a Warthog, so Chief Johnson and a Marine drove to the other escape pods. After helping Marines who were getting attacked by Covenant troops, Chief got onto the Pelican. After getting back to the Autumn, Chief was met by a Marine. The captain wants both of you on the bridge, sir, the Marine said. Chief and Johnson walked to the bridge and saw a noble team and a few of the best ODSTs on the Autumn. Alright, now that we have the Autumn back, we have to be prepared. Master Chief, Noble 5, I want you and several Marines to take the control room, but we need a map. Noble 1, Noble 2, Noble 3, and Noble 4, I want you to get a map of the Halo, Johnson said. Johnson, Noble 6 and I will find the secure the weapons cached. The Covenant troops are looking for it. Captain Keyes ordered. Sir, yes, sir, everyone shouted. Everyone got prepared and said good luck to each other. Nobles 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 Marines were in a Warthogs, while the rest of the Marines were running to Noble's position. Carter and Emil ran down the hallways to a door that closed on them. Emil stayed behind with Carter while June and Kat went to the power room. Kat powered the door to open, which Emil sliced up at an elite that had an energy sword. Emil checked the hallways and sneakily took out the grunts and elites. After getting around the area, Carter had a map. Carter, Emil, June, and Kat got onto the Pelicans and flew back to the Autumn. The Master Chief, George, and Marines all lined up and went in squads. So everyone, the idea of the Marines went in with George and Chief in squads, well, that's an idea from a mod that's on Halo Combat Evolved. And since, Noble Team helped push back the Covenant and get the Autumn, why not do it? Because, Noble Team you have Noble Team and, a bunch of Marines and, Noble Team held off the Covenant. And so I thought maybe, okay, yeah, let's try the mod mode. So I decided to put Marines with Master Chief and George. And so you'll have them on your side if you play the game. But this is just a what if, so. Anyway, each squad was close to each other till they had contact with Covenant troops. Eventually, the Master Chief, George, and the Marines got to the door of the control room. Everyone got into position behind objects, and the Master Chief opened the door. So yeah, everyone, I'm not willing to go through the whole rooms thing, because, it's like you have to, it's just about the same, but you have a bunch of Marines and a Spartan with you, but, it's just, okay, it's going to be quick. I don't think I need to explain it. Anyway, the Master Chief jumped behind a crate and started firing at the few elites and many grunts. After securing the control room, the Master Chief and George walked to the controls. That terminal, try there. The Master Chief placed Cortana inside of the console, and Cortana popped up. How do you feel? The Master Chief asked. Never been better. You can't imagine the wealth of the information, the knowledge, so much, so fast. It's glorious, said Cortana. So, what type of weapon are we dealing with? The Master Chief asked. What are you talking about? Cortana asked. Let's stay focused. Halo. How do we use it against the Covenant? The Master Chief asked. This ring isn't a cudgel, you barbarian. It's something else. Something much more important. The Covenant were right. This ring, it's Forerunner. Give me a second to access. Yes, the Forerunners built this place, what they called a fortress world, in order to... No. Wait, that can't be. Oh, those Covenant fools! They must have known. There must have been signs, Cortana said in a panicked tone. Slow down. You're losing us, George said. The Covenant found something, buried in this ring. Something horrible. And now they're afraid, said Cortana. Something buried? The chief said as Cortana yelled, The captain! We've got to stop the captain! Keys? What are we... Chief asked as Cortana interrupted the chief. The weapons cache. He's not looking for... It's not really... We can't let him get inside, said Cortana, worried in her tone. I don't understand, Chief said as Cortana yelled. One second. There's no time. Get out of here. Find Keys. Stop him. Before it's too late. The Master Chief, George, and a lot of the Marines ran out of the control room. A few of the Marines stayed inside of the control room. The other Marines went back to the Pillar of Autumn or with the Noble Team and the Chief to stop Keys. After hearing that warning from Cortana, George was extremely worried. Everyone tried to understand what Cortana meant, but it was puzzling to them. Carter was worried about Noble 6. Sure, Carter's seen what Six can do. Even reading Six's file, Carter didn't want to see another member of his squad die. Noble Team Master Chief and a handful of Marines secured the entrance where Captain Keyes entered with the Marines. Noble Team entered the building and checked around every corner. Everyone saw Captain Keyes Johnson and a few Marines getting off an elevator. "Captain, what happened?" Carter asked. "Soldier, it wasn't a weapons cache. It was something else, something much worse," Captain Keyes said. "Where's Noble Six?" the Master Chief asked. "He ran off in a different direction, getting those things off of us," said Johnson. "George, June, stay with the captain and the Marines. Let's move, Noble," Carter ordered. Noble Team went into the structure with the chief, and it was very quiet. Emil took point with the chief, while Carter and Kat checked their rear. A door in front of Emil opened, and a Marine shot at Emil's chest. After hearing some Covenant fire, the Spartans ran in the direction. Everyone saw that what the Covenant were firing at, a creature that was a lightish green, and a massive claw on one of its hands, and it seemed like the creature had no head. The grunts, jackals, and elites tried to fight at the creature, but were overpowered. Noble Team and the Master Chief plowed their way to the elevator and made it to the Marines. "Spartans, we were attacked by that thing," said a Marine. "Where's Noble Six?" Carter asked. The Marine pointed to a Spartan sitting down. The Master Chief checked Six's injuries. "We need to get him to LZ, the Chief ordered. "Sir, yes, sir," the Marines shouted as they ran out of the structure. The Master Chief picked up Six and carried him to an LZ. A few drones shot beams of lasers at the flood, but even with this, Emil still pointed at his gun at them. "Hold your fire, Emil. Who are you?" Carter ordered. "I am 343 Guilty Spark, monitor of Installation 04, and this one reclaimer was able to destroy most of the flood, but we must get the index to activate the halo." 343 Guilty Spark. "I'm sorry, everyone, I couldn't do a good 343 Guilty Spark voice, but it's not a good one, so I'm sorry about that, or for some of the lines I'm getting mixed up or stuttering on or not getting a good voice on them. Anyway, Master Chief, go with 343 and get the index while Noble Team will bring the soldiers back to the Autumn, Carter ordered. Chief nodded his head with this order. The Master Chief was teleported to the library with Guilty Spark. Since Noble Six destroyed a lot of the flood, running through the library while fighting small amounts of flood was easy. And everyone, I think I forgot to get Carter to say this, but Emil and Carter watched the bridge to the index as the Master Chief grabbed it. Yeah, so that's where I think I forgot that Carter and Emil were supposed to go with Chief, and Kat was going to bring Noble Six back to the Autumn. 343 Guilty Spark grabbed the index from the Master Chief. "I must carry the index. Your organic form would allow the flood to infect you. Protocol says that cannot happen," 343 Guilty Spark said. 343 teleported Chief, Emil, and Carter to the control room. Which means that any organism with sufficient mass and cognitive capability is a potential vector. Everyone looked around the room they were in. "Is something wrong?" 343 Guilty Spark asked. "No, nothing," the Master Chief said. "Splendid! Shall we?" 343 Guilty Spark asked the Master Chief, Carter, and Emil. Master Chief, Carter, and Emil walked to the control panel. Unfortunately, my usefulness to this particular endeavor has come to an end. Protocol does not allow units with my classification to perform tasks as important as the reunification of the index with the core. That final step is reserved for you, Reclaimer, said 343 Guilty Spark. The Master Chief took the index from 343 Guilty Spark and placed it in the control panel. The room started to show holograms of the places the ring would hit. The generators were powering up and then stopped. Odd, that wasn't supposed to happen, said 343 Guilty Spark. Oh, really? Cortana asked as she popped out of nowhere. Cortana, said Chief as he looked around. Everyone looked at Guilty Spark. I've spent the last 2 hours cooped up in here watching you toady about that thing get to slit our throats, Cortana said in an angry tone. With those words, Emil pointed his shotgun at 343 Guilty Spark. Hold on, he's a friend, the Chief said as he looked at Emil. Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum? Do you have any idea what that bastard made you do? Cortana asked in an angry tone. Yes. Activate the Halo's defenses and destroy the Flood, which is why we brought the index, Chief said as Cortana interrupted him. You mean this? Cortana asked, holding the index. A construct in the core? This is absolutely unacceptable, 343 Guilty Spark said in a shocked and upset tone. Sod off, Cortana shouted at Guilty Spark. What impertinence! I shall purge you at once, said 343 Guilty Spark. You sure you want to do that? Cortana asked, showing the index. How dare you? 343 Guilty Spark said as he flew around frustrated at this problem. Do what? I have the index. You can float around and sputter, Cortana stated. Enough, Carter ordered. Soon the Flood will be spreading. If we activate the Halo's defenses, we can wipe them out, the Master Chief stated. Sir, are you sure that's a good idea? Emil asked, still holding his shotgun at Guilty Spark. I'd listen to him. You don't know how this thing works. Why the Forerunners built it? Halo doesn't kill Flood. It kills their food. Humans, Covenant, whatever. We're all equally edible. The only way to stop the Flood is to starve them to death. And that's what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him, Cortana ordered. Now, Emil was even more wanting to pull the trigger on his shotgun. Carter was ready to pull out his Magnum, and Chief asked, Is it true? More or less. Technically, this installation pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light-years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life, or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the Flood. But you already knew that. I mean, how couldn't you? 343 Guilty Spark asked. Left out that little detail, did he? Cortana asked. We followed outbreak containment procedure to the letter. You were with me each step of the way as we managed this crisis, said 343 Guilty Spark. Guys, I'm picking up movement, Cortana said. Why would you hesitate to do what you have already done? 343 Guilty Spark asked. We need to leave. Right now, Cortana ordered. Now Carter had his assault rifle pointing at 343 along with the Chief and Emil. Last time you asked me if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query. My answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring, 343 Guilty Spark said. Chief started pressing the buttons and placed Cortana in the back of his helmet. As sentinels started flying up and Carter changed his target along with the chief, Emil was still ready to fire his shotgun at Guilty Spark. Get us out of here, Cortana ordered in a scared tone. If you are unwilling to help, I will simply find another. Still, I must have the index. Give me your construct to me, or I will be forced to take her from you, said 343 Guilty Spark. That's not going to happen, Emil said as he shot his shotgun at Guilty Spark. How dare you! Save the green one's head. Dispose of the rest, 343 Guilty Spark ordered. Chief and Emil shot at the sentinels, and within seconds the Spartans were at the door. Emil opened the door, expecting more enemies. The Spartans saw a few grunts and 2 elites firing at the sentinels, popping out of the vents. Emil ran at the grunts when the sentinels were down. Emil picked up a grunt and held it as the elites were firing at him. Emil pulled out his shotgun and fired at a grunt, and then dropped the grunt he was holding. Emil reloaded his shotgun but was grabbed by one of the elites, and Chief punched a grunt that was about to fire at Emil. Emil then kicked the elite's leg and then ducked and fired his shotgun as Chief fired his assault rifle at the elite. The other elite then fell after Carter reloaded his assault rifle magazine. After getting on the outside of the building, Cortana said, I have an idea on how to slow down the progress for the monitor to fire the ring, Cortana said. What is it? Chief asked. When I was plugged in through the core, there were 3 generators that were vital for making sure that the halo would fire. If we took those generators out, the monitor would need to repair them before he could fire the ring, Cortana said. Oh, all right. We'll need to split up, Chief ordered. After getting to the Banshees, the Spartans split up. After taking the 3 generators out, Cortana ordered, meet me and the Chief at these coordinates. Carter and Emil flew to Cortana and Chief's position. All right. Now that we're all here, I learned how the monitor gets around quickly. He uses a series of teleporters. I'm going to teleport us to the Autumn, but I suggest we try it once, Cortana said. Do it, said the Master Chief. The 3 were circled around by yellow teleporters, and before they knew it, they were in front of Captain Keyes, and Captain Keyes was shocked. Sir, the monitor is going to try and activate the halo, said Carter. Captain, I think our best course of action is to destroy the halo, said Cortana. All right. What is it? Keyes asked Cortana. I've been able to use Halo's teleportation device. If I teleport Noble 2 and another member of Noble Team to a Covenant vessel, we should be able to destroy the ship's reactor and escape, but it's 1 jump only, said Cortana. But who'd want to go onto a Covenant vessel and have nearly no escape? Emil asked. The door behind the 3 Spartans opened and a voice said, I'll go. 6? Shouldn't you be in the med bay? Carter asked. I'm better. I'll do the mission, replied 6. 6, you barely survived the flood. How will you fight a thinking elite when you're injured? Carter asked. I'm going to have to risk it, replied 6. I'll be with him, Kat said as she entered the room. All right, let's get moving, people, Captain Keyes ordered. The Master Chief removed Cortana's chip and gave it to 6. Everyone wasn't that surprised by this. since Cortana asked Six to protect her. Everyone thought it would head a little bit away, said Cortana. The two Spartans ran down the hallways, checking corners to see if there were any Covenant or Flood around the corner. The Spartans heard gunfire and saw that the Flood was trying to infect the Elite and Grunts on this ship. Cat and Six ran through the fighting forces and took down a few soldiers on both sides. Once the two Spartans were inside of the core, they saw a massive energy producer. Cat could look at this all day. But Six reminded Cat that they've got a job to do. Cat started cutting to a part of the circuitry to the core. This might take a minute, said Cat. Six looked around the platform, and then four Flood forms popped out of nowhere and started running to the platform Six and Cat were on. Six threw a grenade right in front of the charging Flood. Two of the Flood forms were blown off of the platform. One of the Flood forms were shot by a Six's assault rifle and fell. Six jumped right as the Flood form tried to strike Six. Six pulled out his knife and magnum, so when Six stabbed the Flood, Six shot his magnum right into the creature's deformed head. Six approached Cat and saw that she quickly was cutting and was done now. Six pulled the detonator off his back and put it next to the wires. Cat quickly heated the cut so if anyone tried to stop them, it wouldn't be in time. So then Six and Cat ran out of the Covenant's engine room and ran to the vehicle bay. The Spartans jumped into the spears and flew as fast as they could to the Pillar of Autumn. The Pillar of Autumn took off and jumped into slip space to reach as Halo blew up. The Oracle was sad to see his installation destroyed, but he was worried to his spark that the Flood could still be alive, but noticed a little research part of the Covenant were at a building, so he approached it to warn them of the coming Flood. And that is it for Halo CE, and as for Halo First Strike, would be great because a lot of UNSC forces lived along with the Noble Team. I can't go into really good detail because I have not read the book before, therefore I can't go into good detail. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and remember, our sponsor is One Top Prospect. Go visit them.